So are you living to shop? Do you shop to live or do you live to shop? Now, there was a particular time in my life, and I hate to admit this, but there was a particular time in my life where I loved to shop. I loved to shop. And why did I love to shop? Well, I'll tell you why. Because it brought all kinds of happiness to me. It's a whole bunch of stuff I never had. Now the things are mine. I'm not sharing them with any siblings. This is my stuff. I'm going out with friends, so it's a social activity. They're watching me buy things, which is like, check me out. I'm making a lot of money now because I can buy all this nice stuff. And that is when I discovered credit cards. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Somebody stop me. Nobody stopped me. But I started the credit card thing because I discovered I could buy bigger stuff and more stuff and nicer stuff on a credit card. And somehow I made a disconnection between the credit being a loan that I was going to have to pay off and my money. And they said, you have $5,000 available to you. I'm like, $5,000? What can I buy with $5,000? Now, coming from the mentality of slicking out paycheck to paycheck, my eagerness sent me into this spin cycle where I went out and I spent all the $5,000 so I could slick out. Again, that was my comfort zone. That is what I knew, right? Back to my teenage years, somebody stop me, please. I just didn't know any better. And it wasn't that I had a bad upbringing, but it's that my parents did not use credit cards. We never had a surplus of cash. We were pretty self-sufficient. We grew up on a farm. We raised our own food. We were gardeners. We had our own livestock, chickens, eggs, that whole thing. We did pretty well for ourselves. And so moving out on our own, like, I got to buy my food now. I got to buy my clothes. I got to buy my stuff. There's nobody doing my laundry for me and hanging it up on the line just for me to wear. And now there was like this social thing, like I had to have cool handbags and cool clothes and cool shoes and all that stuff. But that wasn't even true to my lifestyle because the majority of my day, I was hanging out in sweats and I was being a nanny and the kids were puking on me and, I was doing the mom thing. That was my reality. And then I had this alter ego in the evening where it's like, hey, I'm super cool and I wear fancy clothes and all this stuff. Is that true? Is that really true? Is that who I was? And the answer is no, that's not who I really was. Now I was going in credit card debt so that I could impress friends that were not paying my bills. Okay. My friends were not paying my bills. I was paying my bills. So I want to stop for a second and I want to say hi to Sylvie. She said it's a dopamine rush buying nice things for yourself, hence the term retail therapy. I'm guilty. Boy, was I guilty at this part of my life, right? And I think we've all been there, which is why I wanted to have this conversation with you today. Because if you're buying stuff for kicks and it's just retail therapy and, it makes you feel good, yay, how much do you need, right? Patty says, as I sort through my excess to get rid of, it makes me sick to my stomach to think how much money I've wasted. I wish I had the money now. I'm going to echo that. I wish I had the money now. If I had have taken the money that I wasted on things I didn't need to impress people that were never going to pay my bills, I could have invested that either into real estate or I could have put it into stocks or bonds or something else. I could certainly have built my business a whole lot quicker. But now here I was approaching my 20s and I'm getting ready to leave being a nanny, ready to go out on my own. And I'd never saved any money at all.